A jury began deliberations Monday, tasked with considering whether Ghislaine Maxwell is a dangerous predator who recruited teens to be sexually abused by financier Jeffrey Epstein, as prosecutors put it, or the innocent woman, a defense attorney described. The jury received the case just before 5 p.m. after 2 prosecutors and a defense lawyer delivered their closing arguments over a 6-hour period. They deliberated less than an hour and went home after being told to return at 9 a.m. Tuesday. Maxwell, 59, had been composed, if not cheerful, as she interacted with her lawyers and family members for the first 3 weeks of the trial, but she seemed emotional as Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Kamei rebutted defense arguments and asserted the British socialite believed her 4 trial accusers were beneath her. "In her eyes, they were just trash," Kamei said as Maxwell shook her head slightly and then drooped her eyes. Earlier, she had wiped her eyes twice as Kamei attacked defense portrayals of the women who testified about abuse they incurred as teenagers. The prosecutor said Maxwell played a pivotal role in Epstein's quest to sexually abuse teenage girls. Defense lawyer Laura Menninger had argued that the women's recollections of abuse by Epstein and Maxwell were flawed memories manipulated decades later by lawyers seeking payouts or U.S. government investigators seeking a scapegoat after Epstein killed himself in a federal jail in 2019 while awaiting his own sex trafficking trial. The prosecutor started her remarks by disputing a claim by the defense that nearly all the evidence pertained to Epstein, and Maxwell did not deserve to be blamed as an conspirator in his crimes. "This case is about that woman," Kamei said, pointing at Maxwell, who sat at the defense table in a white sweater as 4 of her siblings watched from the first bench of spectators in a courtroom where everyone followed spacing rules dictated by the coronavirus. Earlier, Assistant U.S. Attorney Allison Moe called Maxwell the lady of the house when Epstein abused girls at a New York mansion, a Florida estate, and a New Mexico ranch. Ghislaine Maxwell was dangerous, Moe said. She cited over $30 million that Maxwell received from Epstein over the years. Maxwell and Epstein committed horrifying crimes. Menninger, though, said prosecutors had failed to prove any charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Ghislaine Maxwell is an innocent woman, wrongfully accused of crimes she did not commit. The summations came at the start of the 4th week of a trial that was originally projected to last 6 weeks, with a coronavirus outbreak in New York worsening by the day and a holiday weekend ahead. Judge Allison J. Nathan urged lawyers to keep their closings tight so the jury could begin deliberating as early as Monday. Maxwell has been jailed since her arrest in July 2020. The judge has denied her bail repeatedly, despite her lawyers' arguments that the pledge of her $22.5 million estate and a willingness to be watched 24 hours a day by armed guards would guarantee her appearance in court. The closings came after 24 prosecution witnesses testified, including the 4 women who say they were abused by Epstein with the help of Maxwell when they were teenagers. But Menninger defended the testimony of the memory expert, citing instances in which Maxwell's accusers never mentioned the defendant's name when they first spoke of the abuse they endured from Epstein. She said the testimony from accusers was manipulated by lawyers representing them as they pursued millions of dollars in payouts from a special fund set up after Epstein's suicide to compensate his victims. Menninger said the women suddenly recovered memories that Ghislaine was there.